What in the malarkey is a deep state? It seems like this is the buzzword of the week, and it's important to note that this is a concept, an issue that I have been talking about for more than a decade, and I have been ridiculed for many times, being described as a crazy batshit conspiracy theorist for even questioning this notion. So it's kind of funny seeing establishment bootlicking neocon warhawks like Bill Kristol, who attacked people like me before for even looking into this issue, now publicly cheering on the deep state that's non-existent against Donald Trump. So what is it, you hypocritical jarhead? Is there a deep state or is there not? And it wasn't just me warning you about this, it's also other outsiders like Dennis Kucinich and Ron Paul who previously and especially now are warning you about this idea of a government behind a government, an obscure, invisible group of core members of the establishment pulling the strings behind the scenes, working together, conspiring to make sure that they always get their way. Many people point to bureaucrats, government officials, retired officials, globalists, corporatists, secret societies, legislators, contractors, and even media personalities who manipulate and defend established government status quo policy as the foot soldiers in this deep state. And to me, this manipulation is exemplified every 4 years during presidential elections in the United States, especially around the topic of foreign policy. Many people don't know this, but George W. Bush ran as a non-interventionist, an isolationist in 2000. Barack Obama promised similar policies and ran on the ideas of peace, hope, and fricking change. Meanwhile, both have come out as bloodthirsty warhawks pushing failed foreign policy objectives that are ridiculously dumb and hurt our country, continuing those policies as if nothing has changed with every new president. And now there's Donald Trump, who on one hand seems to fight the deep state, and on the other hand seems to capitulate to them, especially on key issues which he railed against during his campaign, but now is compromising on, like protecting the terrorist exporters of Saudi Arabia, Russian aggression. He even went as far as to fire Michael Flynn. And I mean, Donald Trump did cozy up with the biggest establishment goon that there is, Henry Kissinger, so that is not a surprise. But on the other hand, we are seeing people within the government leak private conversations that him and his staff are having with other world leaders, compromising him and his goals. There's also this latest news of our Secretary of State, Rex Tillerson, under Donald Trump, who just fired the majority of the 7th floor staff in the U.S. State Department, which a lot of people are missing the bigger point here, because this was the same 7th floor staff of the State Department that an FBI document said was, quote, a powerful group of very high-ranking state officials that some referred to as the 7th floor group, or as, quote, the shadow government. So seeing Rex Tillerson fire the, quote, shadow government within the State Department is very interesting to see. Now, Donald Trump does deserve to be held accountable for what he does as president, but one thing is very clear. He is the first president other than JFK to bring this issue to the national stage and make it a topic of debate. Now, of course, there's a lot of confusion surrounding this issue, a lot of conspiracy theories, a lot of people just bringing out facts out of their butt, making them up, and making anyone who talks about this issue sound like a nut job conspiracy tard, discrediting any real dialogue on this issue. But you cannot deny the fact that when people have fought against the prison-industrial complex, the pharmaceutical-industrial complex, the military-industrial complex, that they have always faced adversity from very well-organized groups with coordinated attacks, which makes it very difficult, if not impossible, from changing disastrous failed policies that work against the people of this country. For example, look at Rand Paul. He tried to pass the Audit the Federal Reserve bill, a bill that would actually give us some transparency and oversight into a deep-rooted establishment economic system in this country that has none. And his bill was compromised by Bernie Sanders, who watered it down, and Ted Cruz, who abstained from the vote even though it was a key issue for him. So yes, in my opinion, there is a deep state pulling the strings, keeping the same status quo, failing to make any real radical changes in this country for the betterment of the people. Now, is this a grand conspiracy that is coordinated, that is organized, and has been going on for decades? Or is this just a loose-knit group of elites benefiting themselves through the power of government randomly when they see fit? Let me know what you think in the comments section below, because this is an issue that we are going to be talking about in future videos on this channel, so don't forget to subscribe. And thank you for everyone supporting us on patreon.com/wearechange, keeping us free and independent and not selling male enhancement pills. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, stay tuned for a lot more here on youtube.com/wearechange.